Before going to Europe, I decided to go to Israel first. And it was, I wanted to go and try and dig deep into the Judaism that I thought I'd kind of left behind when I was a kid. The spirituality and guidance I thought might give me some sort of path. So I first went to Jerusalem. I went to the Western Wall. Got my whale on with the orthos. And as I tried to get into the whole davening, in front of the holiest wall in Judaism, believe it or not, there's a holy wall. It's the last standing wall from the second temple that was sanctioned by God, according to the Bible. And I couldn't get into it because it felt like Disneyland. There were all these people like milling about selling like I Love Israel t-shirts and like Jesus is my co-pilot hats. And everywhere I went in Israel, it just felt like I just get more and more disillusioned to this idea of Judaism. Like this religion that has spanned 4,000 years that has helped so many people find guidance in God. It just didn't feel right to me. So I didn't know where to go. Luckily, I was staying with a friend of mine in Tel Aviv who gave me a kind of advice. Marco! Hitchcock, come here! He called me Hitchcock because I was an actor. Come here, Hitchcock! Oh, thank you for the shawarma, man. This is the shit, man. This is going to save me. You and I, we got effed up last night. We were like warrior brothers. Ahi, 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 ahi. This shawarma, oh, it's going to be amazing. It's an animal that fought for its life and died. Come. Sit on the bed. Go to bed, sit on the bed. Come on. What's the worst attempt on my bed? By the way, this bed has a lot of sex. Oh, come on, Hitchcock. I'm just kidding. I've washed the sheets. My mother has washed the sheets. Come, sit. So, you're looking for enlightenment, yes? You came to the wrong country, man. Israel sucks. You want to find enlightenment? You want to find the light? You got to go to Amsterdam. Drugs, sex, whores, prostitute women. Aren't whores and prostitute women kind of the same thing? It's the best. So I flew to Amsterdam. And I went apeshit. Just tried everything I possibly could. But it took me until the last night there to actually try the red light district. And I walked down this alley, just floor to ceiling windows, just like booths, just one after the other, of these women, just beautiful Eastern European women, completely fulfilling this fantasy that I've always had of like this place in Europe where I can go and have all of these beautiful women want to have sex with me. That was my fantasy. There's obviously that's going to get shattered. So I'm walking down this alley just with money, like out, like you know what I'm here for. And they didn't care. Until I looked over at one. She was sitting at her window with her feet propped up against the counter reading a book. And she looked up momentarily and we locked eyes. She thought about it. So I'm walking up to her door and this memory popped into my head. This memory of right before I left, I worked at a bar called Patty Riley's on 29th and 2nd, right down the street. And I had a regular who decided he wanted to give me some advice on Amsterdam. He was like, prostitutes in Amsterdam? You got to treat them like women, man, not like working girls. You know, the first thing they want to hear isn't how much. You know, it's you treat them like they're special. They'll treat you like you're special. I want to feel special. She opens the door. How much? 50 for fucking sock. Okay, 50 for fucking sock. All right, I'll take one fucking sock. And I walk in, and they've got all these like dental instruments, and like it almost looked like Steve Martin's office from Little Shop of Horrors. And there's a zebra print daybed with like a black light over it. Perfect. Please, to take off. All of it?
Yes, well, what do you think? I'm going to I'm going to undress you, going to wash you? You are cute. Take off clothes.
Oh, shit, take off the romance. So, finally, super sexy. I get on the bed, and fishnet onesie gets on top. Oh, she's actually kind of pretty. Oh, good boobs. Stretch marks. Stretch marks! Oh God, she's a mom! She has a kid! Oh God, a fucking prostitute who's a mom! Can I do this? Can I really do this? Can I not do this? Have I come all the way from America to not have sex with a prostitute? As my mind and my dick are having a philosophical conversation, she could tell I wasn't really into it. Mr. Mark, do you need more sock? No! You know what? It's fine. Why don't you let me get on top and you at the bottom? So she gets on the bottom. Oh, Mr. Mark. You're a big man. Oh, yes. The only way she could have been less into it if she was completely passed out. I looked up at one point, she had her book in her hand. Oh, Jon Snow. Knife is hard. Whoa. So I'm trying to get into it. She's obviously not into it. And I try to do something to establish some sort of emotional connection. In desperation, I tried to kiss her. No smooch. Only fucking suck. Second time in 5 minutes I've been rejected by a prostitute. This is what I came here for? Did I fly thousands of miles to try and find myself? Only to find myself fucking a momstitute on a zebra print daybed in Steve Martin's dentist office? No! Mr. Mark, I think you need more suck. No, I do not need more suck. As a matter of fact, thank you, onesie, thank you. Thank you for the fucking suck. I'm out. That night on my way back to the hostel was the most bottom I had felt, no sexual pun intended, for my entire life. I had no idea where I was going to go. I felt as empty as ever. And I got back to the hostel, and this memory of this other regular, I was thinking a lot about Patty Riley's for some reason. And this other regular named Randy was talking about something called Vipassana meditation. It was the greatest thing I ever did. I found wild career success, balance in my life, found the love of my life, and then I battled a demon in my front yard in Bangkok and lost everything. Randy Leonard, just drinking and yelling about what he's done. But it nestled something in my brain. So everywhere I went in Europe, I was like, have you heard of this thing? They're like, yes, you have to go. It'll change your life. So, on Valentine's Day, of all days, of 2007, I submitted myself for a 10-day silent meditation retreat in Mount Silva, Switzerland. Which is insane, now that I think about it. Because it's 10 and a half hours a day of meditating, and it's 10 days of total silence. And I freaked out, because I never meditated before. So day one, I walk in, I'm like, hey, this is awesome. It's no problem. Bring it on, day two. Day two, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I pulled the male manager named Henry. He's the one guy you can talk to in case of emergency. Dude, this is an emergency. I'm freaking out. This silence is driving me crazy. I feel like you guys are invading my brain. The soap in the bathroom, it's giving me some kind of rash. And no offense, but this place feels a little bit culty. I'm sorry, I know it's like your life, but I mean, it does. It feels like a cult. I'm sorry. I didn't mean I meant that. It feels like a cult. I'm sorry. Is this normal? I'm sorry, I said cult. Mark, this is totally normal. This is just the way that your mind is reacting to the 10-day meditation process. How do you mean? Well, you're doing a kind of mental surgery on your brain. I graduated from Columbia College, Chicago. I'm not qualified to do surgery. This isn't real surgery, Mark. This is just... all you are doing is you're taking out all of your impurities and attachments, and you're letting them go, so you can live a much more fruitful and enlightened life. Dude, you're blowing my mind right now. Are you telling me I'm going to get enlightened? Closer to. Yes. We make no guarantees. And please, I don't know who this dude is. My name is Henry. So the next 2 days went just like this. Dude, I'm freaking out. My name is not dude, it is Henry. Just give it one more day. So for 3 days, that's how it went. And then until day 5, hump day. I'm sitting in my room trying to meditate. Trying, being the opposite. And finally, something clicks. And suddenly the world feels very far away and very close at the same time. And as I'm sitting there just observing the silence, my first memory pops into my head. And it's the memory of me sitting on my steps at my parents' house, watching my brothers make SNL type sketches in a video game. And me thinking, yeah, that's what I want to do. And then a second memory pops into my head, and it was from Hebrew school, of all places, where it's this Talmudic idea where if you're in a dilemma, you think of yourself at 120, and you think of what that version of you would tell the you now. And that concept blew my entire idea of the universe and getting Stetson'd to bits, because it made me realize how important the things you say and do in the present affect the future. And then my eyes opened. I looked out the window and saw that it was snowing. And I thought to myself, could this be any more cliche? My anthem for my entire trip was Snow by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I ran outside, and I put my hands up like fucking Shawshank, and I was like, yes! Because finally, my future, my path, made sense. It made itself known. I wasn't going back to New York to act in the conventional sense. I wasn't going to audition or dive into other people's heads anymore. I was going to go back and build my own career. Stand-up, sketch, improv, make my own production company. Those moments of my past that seemed to dictate my future, because I felt like I had no control, now my present was going to dictate my future. The next morning, I woke up with the sound of the gong at 4 a.m., because that's how they wake you up in a monastery. And from 4:30 to 6:30, you're supposed to meditate in your room by yourself. I was like, fuck that. I ran outside, put my boots on, and took to see how much snow was out. And there's 2.5 feet had fallen. And I just dove right in. I was just like, yeah! Like snow angels. And just diving right into it and eating it, which probably wasn't a good idea. And throwing snowballs and just like having a great time. Because I realized for the first time where I was. I was on a fucking mountain in Switzerland at a monastery trying to find myself. How fucking epic is that? And I was just walking around and just making these like zigzaggy paths in this area that is normally used for like exercise, but what they mean by exercise is just you walk around in a circle that they dictated before the retreat started. So I went inside for breakfast. When I came outside after lunch, during exercise time, people weren't walking around in a circle. They were walking around in the zigzaggy pattern that I had made earlier that morning. I went from not knowing my path to watching everyone else follow mine.